So let's talk about what's going on at Indiana University. This is at the school newspaper. It calls itself the Daily Student, and it is now in the news. So the director of the student media was fired recently over a disagreement with the university administration over what and where they could publish. So the school did not want any news content in print, old school print. Instead, breaking news would go on to the digital edition. The student editors in chief pushed back, writing an article about this decision. They then published a piece with the huge red headline there you see saying censored, and the subhead saying this is not about print. This is about a break of editorial independence. Kieran.
Well, those editors in chief join us now. Welcome to Mia Hilkowitz and Andrew Miller. They're joining us now on Connecting America. Thanks, you guys, for joining us. So the university is claiming the move is not about censorship. It's about consolidating the news into the digital format. What do you guys think? And why is this something that you want to bring to the attention of everybody out there?
Yeah, so fundamentally, the university was trying to tell us what we could and could not print in our newspaper. And the rationale behind that was an irrational business decision that print wasn't making us money. In fact, over the semester, it's made $11,000 ish in profit. So if the university could use an irrational business decision here to dictate what we could or could not publish, that leaves the future open to a lot of scary possibilities. So we decided to fight back about it.
Andrew, I'm wondering, is the print edition still really popular on campus? Is that something that students pick up? Because we know that most people, are using their devices to get their news. Is it different on campus?
Yeah, I'd say it depends on the location. Some areas in campus, we have some low pickup rates. Throughout the city, we have pretty high pickup rates, and certain locations on campus, we do as well.
But Mia, I mean, just help us understand. This wasn't about an editorial story or direction or angle that the administration didn't want you to publish. This is about the delivery system. And I hear what you're saying, that if they can control one thing, it might be a slippery slope. But have they ever told you any story that you can't publish?
Yeah, absolutely, they have. And I think if you look at their immediate directive that they gave us in October, their immediate directive was to not print any sort of news. So this really at its core is not about distribution. Are trying to cut print after the fact, after they gave us that initial directive to not print a certain type of content. I think their initial directive was a lot more telling of what their true intentions are.
So it got the attention of billionaire and former Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, who tweeted about this. We're going to read this tweet, get your reaction. Quote, "Not happy, censorship isn't the way. I gave money to IU General Fund for the IDS last year so they could pay everyone and not run a deficit. I gave more than they asked for. I told them I'm happy to help because the IDS is important to kids at IU." Guys, what does that mean to you to have that support from Mark Cuban?
Yeah, I would say that the support from Mark Cuban, I think, really shined a spotlight on it, but we've also been receiving an outpouring of support from alumni across the entire university. The IDS has been around for 158 years, so we have a really strong alumni network. And I think what alumni now across the world are saying is that this is very, very wrong. This is a clear tactic of censorship. And so to have people like Mark Cuban and the other alumni who have spoken out for us, it's been really encouraging.
You are getting support actually from some other places, including universities like Purdue. They're supporting your paper and its cause. Their student paper, The Exponent, was delivered to your campus, and they called it Operation Clandestine Delivery. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so essentially, they had offered to print our full edition for us, but due to the nature of our student media director getting fired earlier in the week, we wanted to play it very carefully. And so they printed their own special edition. They republished our letter in it and other content that they produced. And it was just, honestly, it was an amazing show of solidarity between student newspapers, because what's happening to one in Indiana or across the country can happen to all of them. So I think there's a lot of eyes, not just at Purdue, but across the country within student newspapers looking at what's happening here.
All right, before we let you go, Mia, I have to get your thoughts on the Indiana football team. Number 2 in the country. How excited is the campus? Are we talking national championship in Bloomington?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are really excited about it. I know our football reporters have been very, very busy lately. We're kind of planning out the rest of the season, but yeah, I would say they're excited.
Not to bury the lead. We understand the story is still about censorship. Mia and Andrew, thank you so much for joining us here on Connecting America. Very much appreciate it, Jim.